Hello everyone, my name is Jason, this is
Monty.
And today we're doing Chronicles of Truth on the story of David and Mephibosheth. And I'm going to start off today. It says, news came to Israel that Saul and Jonathan his son had been killed in battle. Back in Jonathan's home, the nanny of Jonathan's son, whose name was Mephibosheth, heard the news, and being scared for the young man's life, she decided it would be best to leave the town and go into hiding somewhere else. While they were making their way out of the city, the nanny dropped Mephibosheth and crippled him in his feet. They continued on their journey and settled in the town of Lodabar. A few years passed, and Jonathan and David, who had just become king, remembered the kindness that Jonathan had showed him when he was running away from Saul. And he asked one of his servants whether there were any family members of Saul who were still living, so that he could show kindness to them. The servant told him of Jonathan's son, named Mephibosheth, who was crippled in his feet. The king, who was feeling sadness for the young boy, asked the servant, "Where is he? Where is he?" And the servant replied, "He is in Lodabar, living in the house of Machir." David then sent men and had Mephibosheth taken from the house of Machir in Lodabar. And you can continue on from there.
Alright, well, in the time, we know in the background, I don't think he mentioned it, but Jonathan, the father of Mephibosheth, as he did say, was David's best friend. Just to give you a little backdrop, David had made a promise, a blood covenant, which you might have seen someone do. They prick their fingers to where it would bleed. They'd put their thumbs against each other like that, and it would be called a blood covenant. That David would love all of Jonathan's posterity, very basically. Now Mephibosheth, after Jonathan and Saul had both been killed during battle, was the only person left in the lineage of David. I mean, not David, the lineage of Jonathan, excuse me. And so David took in Mephibosheth. Later on in the story, as we go on, David took in Mephibosheth, but Mephibosheth was under the belief that David had come to kill him. So once the servants of David had gotten Mephibosheth and brought him there, it was quite a surprise, but David took in Mephibosheth, clothed him, gave him a bath, anointed his head, and all that good stuff. But he took in Mephibosheth, and for the rest of Mephibosheth's life, he sat at the right hand of the king when he came to him.
Which is the basic story. Interesting little thing about Mephibosheth is that he would actually become friends with David throughout the rest of David's life and would continue to be an ally to him. Like when Absalom, David's son, spoiler alert by the way, rebels against him and ends up taking half the kingdom. Absalom comes to Mephibosheth to get him to rebel against David, and just Mephibosheth plain out tells him no. And so he ends up helping David get back into kingship there in Israel later in time. So David and Mephibosheth had a very special relationship, and it's very related to how, because David is a type of Jesus Christ, and it sort of shows how Christ went looking for us even when we weren't really looking for him, and his love and his mercy for us even when we were crippled in our feet and we really couldn't go anywhere without him. So I think it's a really interesting story. And by the way, just in case you were reading in your Bible the story of David, we did sort of spoil a very important part in the story, that Saul and Jonathan, his son, and really all of Saul's sons got killed in battle, and Saul, of course, killed himself. So, sorry to spoil you guys on that one if you didn't know that already. So, but that's basically it for today's video. We have J&M Talk next week, and we're super excited about that. And I believe that's all.
Yep.
So, my name is Jason, this is
Monty,
signing off.